Taylor Swift has cracked open the vault once more and released never before heard of songs from her Speak Now era. And this one is packed with hidden meanings, Easter eggs, I can see you. And in this music video, we begin to piece together some of the big purposes, the big picture of Taylor's Easter egg hunt as a whole. Are you ready for it? At the front of a building that looks like it holds valuables in true heist style, an unmarked white van stops and lets out an individual in dark clothing. The heist took place on July 9th, a date that shares its number with track number 9, Enchanted, which is what the album would have been called if Big Machine Company producer Scott Borchetta hadn't talked Taylor into changing it. The time 1:38 or 13:8 speaks these words through two songs. I still remember the look on your face, lit through the darkness at 1:58. We know that we need to look for a face that Taylor never thought she'd kiss goodbye. The goodbye was a result of growing up, which was so painful for her that she wouldn't wish it on anyone. Now we see a face, or part of a face, and it looks familiar. It looks a lot like Look What You Made Me Do, the one who told us that the old Taylor is too dead to come to the phone right now. So we have Taylor from Speak Now communicating from back in time with the Taylor from Look What You Made Me Do through the lyrics of The Last Kiss, expressing the shock that she felt at being disowned like that. She never thought that this would happen, that she would have this kind of relationship with her record company, that this would have to happen. In the background in this shot, we see a white building that is lit up. There's a column in the middle that looks like it's in the shape of, it's sort of the shape of a T. And the whole building looks a little bit like a tombstone. Down the bottom there, we see outlines of several people, suggesting that we're dealing with more than one voice from beyond the grave. So more than one old Taylors that couldn't come to the phone. In fact, that building, the T, the white T, reminds us of the white T in Look What You Made Me Do, with all the old Taylors fighting for their lives beneath the ruthless future self who nobody trusts. The streetscapes shows lots of red, orange, and green in the lights. Traffic light colors. The hooded figure looks to them for assurance if it'll be all right. The orange light looks like they could be saying, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of orange, a bit of red, only one tiny green light. That's the one that she's looking at. I don't know if this is the right imagery, but I'm going with that for now. Little did we know that Presley Cash, who plays the successful antithesis of the bullied girl in Mean, the one that was dressed as a star, she's moved on from focusing on her success. She's got other plans now. Lots of orange, red, and green traffic lights again, as well as blue screens. Blue usually alludes to 1989, but I think we'll see later that it has a different meaning in this video. But it could be referring to 1989, the big old city that was talked about in Mean, which which refers to New York, of course, which is a 1989 track, of course. Here we first see some motifs that we'll explore later on in the track. The dot and the stars. So there's a dot and two stars, and the stars, maybe they're drawn around her scars, so she's no longer hurt by the teasing. Here we've got headphones as well, and we've seen headphones before in another music video. In this one here, we've got headphones over all the 7 guys who are guarding the vault in Look What You Made Me Do. Now, the imagery in this shot reminds me a lot of Jesus' resurrection, his death and resurrection. So the symbolism here is of the guards who fell asleep while the gravestone was rolled away. and you have Taylor there dressed, she's dressed as a cat, and she's also in a pose that's part crucifixion and part power. So it's symbolizing being raised to life with power. So it's a power pose. But also the cats have 9 lives, and so that's about as close to being raised to eternal life as you can get with mortal creatures. 9 lives is pretty big. So the dark figure, oh yeah, back on the other side. So the resurrection scene kind of tells us a little bit about why Easter eggs, why Easter. And I think the whole story, the whole line of clues that Taylor's been leading us through so all those symbols trace out the story of her sort of creative death and rebirth as an artist. Now over here we see a dark figure sliding past 3 windows shaped like diamonds, so fat that you could sink your teeth into them. Now the symbolism of diamonds, now we can understand that diamonds, or now I can understand, you probably knew this before, but diamonds are usually used in metaphors of people who have been put under so much pressure that they become diamonds. The 3 windows in this shot referenced, so the 3 windows in the diamonds shot previously references the 3 frames in this shot, frames that we now know from blank spaces to mean her newest interest, except that in Look What You Made Me Do, the names that she's writing and underlining, so she talks about a list of names in red underlined. So they're not the types of names that she wrote in blank spaces. They're not carved on trees with love hearts. The frames in this shot have mirrors, and they reflect all the people that Taylor is talking to or about in this song. So as the figure goes past these windows, we begin to wonder whether the story in this music video is about them, about all the people who Taylor referenced in Look What You Made Me Do, or the people who have hurt her or taken advantage of her in the past. So we have another clue here, the black nails and the many rings. This reminds us of the rings in Reputation's Look What You Made Me Do. So there's 2 places where we see it in the video, but with a difference. There's a blue jewel, and the blue jewel reminds us of the blue jewel in Bejeweled. Even though she's downtrodden, she can still get the castle that she's always wanted. The blue normally references 1989, as we've mentioned before, and this time the song New Romantics, because the castle was built with all the bricks they threw at me, and we're going to see some bricks a little bit later. But first, we've got the hooded figure coming. She's kind of the dark figure that kind of reminds us a bit of Are You Ready For It? With the fingerless gloves. So Are You Ready For It? It's about a heist, and also it's about to happen. So are you ready for it? She removes her hat and her mask, and we see that it's actually an older Joey King, who is the girl who was bullied in the meme video. So she's not only grown up, but she's also taking control of her situation. Here we have an Electric Touch, a new song from The Vault, and it speaks the lyrics, just breathe, just relax, it'll be okay. And that kind of symbolizes the internal monologue that Taylor might be feeling right now. And we see Violet, Speak Now colors starting to be introduced, the mauve, the pinky violet. But what's this? Oh, so here we start to see bricks, and we see Speak Now Taylor in prison. And she's been there for a while by the looks of things. The lyrics on her arms speak of being battle worn. having done it with someone. Had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. Who is this mysterious helper? We wonder and wait. This is this is old Taylor speaking the lyrics of Long Live. So it's like old Taylor is alive, or old Taylor has been resurrected, and she's imprisoned right now. So Starpunk Taylor, she feels her pain. A lot of the orange lights are blocked in this scene, and green and red are more prominent here. So I think the orange lights we'll later see as representing her fans, and I think at the time when Taylor was when she went quiet just before Reputation dropped, I think she may have felt like she wasn't connected with her fans. The orange lights represent fans, I think, and I'll show you why later on. So she looks back and feels her pain, the pain of the humiliation of always having a camera watching her every move, even in the bathroom. And we see that scene from the bathroom, and then Taylor kind of on the floor, or looking like she's on the ground, sort of thing. It's not really the ground, but I think this shot is referencing when Taylor got jump scared by Ellen and fell on the bathroom floor. And as she described it, she could have died. But that got distributed as entertainment. So here we have more green lights and a door is kicked down. So grown up, eat her lunch in the toilet Taylor is coming to rescue, filmed in the bathroom Taylor. There's something almost poetic about that. But filmed in the bathroom Taylor is no longer naive. She knows the camera is always watching. She has 4 bodyguards to walk with her every step, kind of symbolizing so in the movie Delicate, she has the 4 bodyguards. And I think the 4 pictures of her being watched here symbolizes that what she's doing right now is a bit delicate. So we have Speak Now colors here in earnest with the lasers. Lots of lasers here, symbolizing maybe all the ways people tried to, or all the ways she was mistreated throughout the past. And she has to kind of jump hurdles and navigate through all of that, just to get to her album. So the lasers scene references Taylor's iHeartRadio performance. So the little skit she did for iHeartRadio, and also Bad Blood. So we might be expecting a bit of a fight coming soon. The tunnel in that laser scene also references the tunnel in Bad Blood. And in Bad Blood, we see Taylor carrying a stick of dynamite, showing that she's about to make an explosion. One of the laser beams is red. Does that reference all the list of names in red underlined? Is Taylor saying she knows, or she's remembered all these people that made her jump these hurdles and twist and, bend and bend over backwards just to get her album released, and she's about to get them back? In this shot, we begin to get the idea that maybe she's not in a cell and those are not bricks, but gold. Maybe she's in a vault. And we see in the vault shot in this Look What You Made Me Do scene, in the background there are lots of gold bricks there. So track number 13 speaks to us again. So track number 13 is Last Kiss. And so the lyrics there, sitting on the floor wearing your clothes. So the 13 that Taylor wore in the Speak Now tour was not black, but here we have a black 13, kind of suggesting that maybe this is not Speak Now Taylor, but this is Reputation Taylor dressed up as Speak Now Taylor. And the lyrics from Last Kiss suggest that. So we kind of get the idea that Taylor's about to appropriate her old songs and give them new meaning for a new message that she's sending out to her fans. So Joey Taylor is still coming to rescue Vaulted Taylor, but she's in for a surprise. This is the Taylor who told us that the old Taylor is dead. And it turns out she's the Taylor in the vault, sitting on the floor, wearing the old Taylor's clothes. And that expression just says it all. Joey Taylor is shocked and confused. Why? How? What? How could that happen? But like us, she begins to get more of the picture as the lights come on and she looks around. And here we have lots of outfits there, not just the one that she's wearing in the vault, but she's about to appropriate lots of other things from the Speak Now tour and tell another story. Then Taylor Lautner drops from the ceiling, Mission Impossible style, but louder. He wants to make a noise. He wants to kind of speak now, but she tells him to be quiet. Don't worry, he'll have a chance to get loud later. So there's a frame on the wall, but Taylor walks past it to the left, so she's reframing her past. We see Joey's dress from Mean, and she's going to have to confront her past in a few scenes. But she can do it with a new perspective that the Taylor from the vault gives her. So this is Reputation Taylor looking back and appropriating the songs. So now she can look back differently at so when she re-records these songs, she's doing it with different feelings. So Taylor in the past was helpless in the face of critics. She used to feel helpless, tied to the train tracks, and she used to resort to hiding in toilets, metaphorically speaking. But all these years, she's been keeping score of all the time she was mistreated. She has her list of names in red underlined. So now we know that all these little lines on the bricks, they represent all the times she was mistreated. But there was no shortage of bullies, but Taylor was her own best friend. Here we have a print photograph reminding us of the photos in Mine and showing how she loved herself through it all, or how maybe over time she's learnt to love herself through all the worry, killing and reinventing herself. She's the best thing that has ever been hers. We see a new theme emerging here. Taylor represents people who supported her at her lowest, and he's there with her as she confronts all the teasing of the past. Taylor walks to the right past the inside of the vault door, which looks like a clock. So walking to the right symbolizes what's about to happen, or symbolizes kind of the future, kind of how she's going to reframe things in the future. So we'll need to remember in the future that the door of the vault is a clock. So this picture is being unveiled. Is it a guy? The frames in blank spaces represent her new love obsession, and it's kind of what the media jumps to every time there's a guy anywhere. But successful Taylor, who takes control of her image, Taylor, she flashes the red warning signs at us not to pursue that line of thinking. This song and the meanings in this song, they're not about a guy. It's about a young artist who's been bullied. These guys represent her bullies. And she has reframed her album. All the meanings are different now. It sits against the backdrop of many mistreatments. She puts her hand up and looks down in sadness, a pose that speaks the lyrics of Willow. Willow was about her relationship with the media. They count me out time and time again, referencing the times she was mocked in the media. Her creative decisions were overruled by Scott Bruschetta. But this is how she's telling us the past was like, how her relationship with Big Machine was like. So Taylor doing his own stunts with the suitcase, showing that now they have bad blood. Uh, Taylor Swift was fighting for her rights to use the banjo in the song Mean. And Taylor Lautner, this is a shot from a skit in SNL, Saturday Night Live, where he said that he really wanted to fight for Taylor. Notice all the red poinsettia, all the red flowers there. They're there because it's Christmas, right? Well, maybe there's more to it. In Back to December, Taylor Lautner, or the you in the song, gave Taylor Swift roses that she left there to die. In this skit, the roses are thematically linked to him wanting to fight for her. The Back to December imagery continues in this shot, in I Can See You. The blue maxi dress and the white piano are what Taylor used to sing Back to December, and there's two guitars that she used in her Speak Now tour. It turns out that fighting the Big Machines and Scott Bruschetta and media jibes is what all the disagreement in Back to December was all about. Taylor Lautner wanting to fight and Taylor Swift saying quiet earlier in this song. And oh, by the way, as they're fighting here, we get a little glimpse of what the outcome is. So we see that gold dress. They fought and she won. That is the dress that she wore when she accepted her American Music Award. Here are those dresses as she wore them. There's the green dress when she sang Back to December, Apologize, and Not Sorry, and the gold dress for the American Music Awards, where she picked up 3 awards, including Best Album for Speak Now. Making her own decisions paid off. This scene highlights some of the times Scott Bruschetta or Big Machine label interfered with her creative process, but Taylor fought back and got her way. So first we have the black dress. The black dress and the silver guitar represent Long Live, and the lyrics in Long Live are about fighting dragons. So they represent kind of a fight, a struggle. Maybe it's a reference to the way all these interferences stifled her creative geniuses. That she's alive in spite of the record label, not because of them. The white lace dress is from Mean, and Scott Bruschetta didn't want the banjo in Mean, but Taylor fought back and got it in there, and it was a great choice. And the terrace and the gown are from Love Story, a reference of how he had made it difficult for her to record Love Story, but she managed to get it in at the last minute. Love Story is referenced in Bejeweled, and this is where she gets her castle, even though she was told in that music video to speak not. We get some more imagery of staircases in this video, but it reminds us of something. The staircase speaks of an enchanting beginning to her career and her relationship with the record label. But then it moved on and it developed, and it became one where she was showing Big Machine's incredible things and keeping the company alive through her albums. Then it became one where she reigns as queen and has tea and is called a snake. So it wasn't going to be forever. It's about to go down in flames. Here we are at the door, and it looks like a solar eclipse. Taylor could look directly at the sun, but never in the mirror, and she's about to be the anti-hero. The orange flaming circle in the eclipse reminds us of the orange cage in Look What You Made Me Do, and it fits with the imagery of the vault being like a cell. Taylor's creativity has been locked up for so long. Now here's an interesting thing. The three bombs, the first one is about to be thematically linked with this. Do you notice that the dot is now covered up? So the dot represents a black mark against Taylor's reputation. So the bombs represent stars, and the stars symbolize healing, as in drawing stars around your scars. So she's doing this whole re-recording albums and what she might be about to do, so that she can heal. It's part of a healing process. Here we have a 1989 post. She's listening out for her fans. And remember what we learnt about the vault door that we're told to remember for the future. The vault door is a clock. And so the black mark on Presley Cash's face is represented by the bomb. And if you can see there, the bomb, it has been put in the 11 o'clock position. And lyrics, so 11, the 11th song on the album is Innocent. So the lyrics from Innocent speak now. Who you are is not who you've been. You're still an innocent. The next star is placed at the 3 o'clock position. The symbolism of the blue jewel on Presley Cash's finger deepens in this very purple Speak Now scene from Bejeweled. It's combined with the crucified pose in Look What You Made Me Do, where all the downtrodden old Taylors struggle for their lives. Here they are, all exalted and bejeweled. So this Bejeweled video kind of represents her kind of ascension. She is now, she's great, and she can still come in and make the whole place shimmer, even though she was downtrodden for so long. So the 3 o'clock position represents track number 3, Back to December. And in this shot, we can see Taylor Lautner looking at sort of a representative of Taylor Swift. And the way they look at each other, we can surmise that the Taylors have put their past behind them. So the last star or bomb is placed in the 7 o'clock position, which is track number 7, Story of Us. Story of Us was also foreshadowed when the Speak Now vinyl cover was announced. So I reckon there's going to be something big happening around that song. I called it here first. But for now, the time, as you can see in the background, is for track number 11, Innocent. So sparks are about to fly now that Joey Taylor is smiling. So here they are. Her pose in this scene alludes to another time when she made sparks fly in another video. And that was in Look What You Made Me Do, when she cut the wings off from a big machine. Taylor will no longer sustain this company and make it viable. Like, she was the one who was making it viable, but she's withdrawing from it, so it may not be able to fly anymore. So it's now time, and whereas previously in the video she told him to be quiet and left his roses, so the references to Back in December, left his roses, aka his big fighting moves, to die. But now she's saying yes. So she hands him the control to the bombs, and they make an explosion. And we can see the green light. The green light says go, go, go. She comes out in smoke like at the beginning of the Speak Now tour. Drop everything now. And her album has dropped. It is free from the vault at last. There is the reframed Speak Now album. She takes a moment to appreciate them both. It seems like there is more to this album than just owning her own music. She's telling a story here that she has kept vaulted up for a long time. Yeah, it's something that she's a little bit scared of saying, maybe a little bit apprehensive. And it seems like just because the album has dropped doesn't mean she has she's safe. It seems like the bullying hasn't stopped, or she doesn't anticipate that it will stop. It's going to be a little bit dicey getting out. As they run, the glass cases shatter around them, and this reminds us of the Department of Mysteries with all its prophecies shattering around them. And there's a red light that glows behind them, so maybe red represents, there's a bit of a red theme. I'm not really sure what the red represents. In a traffic light, it means stop, I guess. There's also a red dress, which maybe someone can tell me in the comments what that means, but maybe that's linked to this here. So this is what I was talking about with the dresses. In this scene, we have the 3 dresses in a row, just like their traffic lights, and the colors are sort of traffic light colors. You've got the blue, which could be the green. You've got the kind of peachy orange, which could be the orange light, and then you've got the red dress in the back. And that red dress may be what red symbolizes in this movie, in this music video. And you have in this scene Taylor running past and looking at that orange dress, and she also runs past and she looks at these dresses in the background, the red dress and also the black hoodie with the jeans. And the black hoodie with the jeans is from the ACM award performance where Taylor sang "Should Have Said No." So Big Machine Records should have said no to Scooter Braun, and if they had, they might still have her. So that could be the symbolism there. So this is the dress, the orange dress, that she wore to the American Music Awards, where she picked up 3 awards, including Best Album for Speak Now. Orange represents love and support from her fans, because this was the, I think it was the People's Choice Awards or something like that. Yeah, People's Choice. So the people actually voted for her. So that's why I was saying I think maybe orange represents support from her fans. So the black mark on Presley Cash's face is still covered, showing that she's still an innocent. So we might say that the blue screens reference the blue dress now, because we had the traffic lights where the green light was a blue dress. So possibly, since we've got all traffic light colors here except for that blue, maybe we're linking blue with Speak Now, and this is the first time we see Presley Cash's character speak now. She's speaking up for her art because she's about to make another explosion. Don't know what this is referencing, but maybe it's something in the future. The black dot reappears. Whoops, she's not innocent anymore. Look what she made me do. And again, there's a warning not to misread this. I can see you isn't talking about her relationship with guys when she says I can see you. She takes off her producer headphones here and thinks only of getting away. So here we see lots of support, lots of orange dots, red dots, possibly symbolizing self-love. And there's a green dot. Not sure what that one means, but probably go. So self-love, support from fans might be needed when whatever is about to go down goes down. Old Taylor looks back, getting drawn in, but her Joey Taylor friend talks her out of it, and they jump in the van and drive down the street. They're driving towards a big old city that has lights so bright, but they're not blinding. So this is the first time we see sort of white lights in the cityscape. And possibly this is referencing New York that they are going to, which is kind of the resolution of the struggles in Speak Now, especially in Mean, which has a lot of references in this video. She actually makes it to the big old city. So that was my take on some of the Easter eggs on in this new video. I hope you liked it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think.